All right. Find the standard equation for this ellipse. Okay? It gives you the x, it gives you the y. That's all you need. So all you have to do is go x squared over the x value squared plus y squared over the y value squared equals 1, and you're done. That's all you have to do for that. You don't have to find foci. You don't have to find anything else. Okay? So on this one, the major axis endpoints have a y value, right? And when it's an ellipse, it's x squared over something plus y squared over something. Well, you take this is your a, and you square it. So 25 goes under y. Okay. The minor axis has a length of 4. So from the center to here, if the whole thing is 4, it's 2 and 2, right? So the b is 2. What's 2 squared? 4. So b is 2. B is 2. So b squared is 4. Okay. Another ellipse. So it's x squared over something plus y squared over something equals 1. Okay. How far apart are 12 and 2? 10. So the major axis length is 10. So we have to go half of that. What's half of it? 5. Now, -2, if we draw this, -212 is way up here, -22 is right here. So it goes like this. So it's an up-down. So it's under the y. So half of 10 is 5. 5 squared is 25. Half of 8 is 4. 4 squared is 16. See how easy this is? Where did I get what? Okay. Okay. So those 3 ellipses ones are 3 of the easier ellipses ones that I could give you. Okay, because you're just going with the equation, figure out A, figure out B, where they go, and write it down. Okay. Now, hyperbolas. If y is positive, then it's like this. Or if y is squared, well, so if y is positive, it's like that. If x is the positive one, if x is first before the subtraction sign, it's going to be like this. Okay? Now, these two have a center of what? 0, 0. Okay? So it's an up-down with a center of 0, 0, and x is positive. This one is here. This has a center of 0, 0, and it's a left-right, so this one goes here. This one has a center of 1, -3, and it's a left-right because y is positive. 1, -3. Oh, it's -3. Ooh, -3, 1, left, right. Did I do this wrong? I did this wrong, didn't I? I did this backwards. Mr. Bierschbach. If x squared, so this is up, down, if y is positive. This is left, right, if it's negative. Bierschbach, bad kid. All right, so 1, -2 is the center here, and x is positive, so it goes like that. X is positive here, goes to there. This one goes to here because center is 0, 0. This one goes here because the center is -3, 1. Okay? Find an equation for hyperbola. The transverse axis and the conjugate axis. The transverse, I wish they would say the major axis and minor axis. Okay. The major axis endpoints are here. Okay. How far away are they from each other? 6 away. 2, 6, and 2, 0. Okay. 2, 6, and 2, 0. So they're 6 away. So A would equal 3. Okay. And since it's an up, down 1, y is squared. Y squared is positive. So you go halfway in between this. The center is at 2, 3. The center is at 2, 3. So you go y minus 3 squared minus x minus 2 squared. Okay. Then you got to figure out, well, since a is 3, 3 squared is 9. Huh. That was cool. 9. And c squared equals a squared plus b squared in these, right? In a hyperbola. Is that what's on your note card? C squared equals a squared plus b squared. So, well, I guess we don't even need to know that. This is 10, so if you divide by 2, it is 5. So this would be 25 equals 1. Don't have to worry about the foci there. Jeez, for the phone calls today. Okay. And then the last ones were from chapter 10 that we did before this chapter 8. Okay. Basic probability. What's the probability? Tan or red. What does or mean? Add them. So tan is 1 out of 10. Red is 3 out of 10. So you get 4 out of 10 or 0.4. Type an integer or decimal. Well, that's a decimal. Okay. If it snows tomorrow, there's a probability that 80% he will practice his guitar. So if it snows, then there's an 80% chance of him practicing his guitar. If it doesn't snow, there's only a 40% chance he will practice his guitar. Now, the chance of snow is 60%. So the chance it won't snow is 40%. So you multiply across. So this is 48% chance of if it snows he'll practice. Or there's a 48% chance he'll practice there. And there's a 16% chance he'll practice there. If we add them up, we get a 64% chance he'll practice. College Alumni Office survey selected members of the class of 2000. Of the 210 that graduated that year, 176 were women, 118 of whom went to graduate school. Of the male graduates, 22 went on to graduate school. What's the probability of the given event? That the graduate was a woman. Well, how many women graduated? 176 out of the 210. So it's 176 out of 210. Okay. And then you're supposed to simplify the fraction. So just punch it into your calculator and let the calculator reduce that fraction. What is that reduced fraction? 88 over 105. The probability of a graduate who went to graduate school. Now, 118 of the women went to graduate school. The probability of graduate who went to graduate school. So 210 graduated. 118 were women, and 22 were men, which made 140 of the graduates went to grad school out of the 210 that graduated. Probability of a graduate went to grad school. So 14 over 21, which is 2/3. The probability of a graduate woman who went to graduate school. The graduate women were 176. Of those, 118. Reduce that fraction for me. 118 over 176. Okay, and I think those should all be correct, right? I'm going to double check the math. 59. No, it says 105. Why would it say 105? The probability of a graduate woman who went on to graduate school. Wow, that's odd. 59 out of 105. I think that's wrong, don't you guys? The probability of graduate woman, the women who graduated, 176 were women. Probability of a graduate woman who went on. I guess 42 is off the test now, too. All right. A national poll asked whether people who plan to watch a national sporting event and so on. What's the percent of the people who plan to skip the game? 295 plan to skip the game out of the total number of people of 1,008. Give me that percent to 3 decimal places, please. 295 divided by 1,008.
29.266.
Okay, sounds good to me. Percent of the people who were men that planned to skip the game. Percent of the people who were men who planned to skip the game. The percent of the people who were men that planned to skip the game. So that would be men out of the total number of people. I think it's 131 out of 1,008. Percent of the people who were men. Yeah. So what's 131 divided by 1,008?
12.996.
The percent of men who plan to skip the game. So that's 131 out of 409% of men. Yep. Plan to skip the game. 131 out of the 492 men.
626.
Okay. The percent of people who plan to skip the game who are men. So of those who planned to skip the game, how many were men? So that'd be 131 out of 295. Yep. Okay, last couple here. The home runs by a player. 1960 is 41, so it's definitely not this. Definitely not this. So it's either A or C. 41, then up to 51, and so on, all the way down to 6. in 1972. The only way it can be is C. Median number. Median is the middle number. So 29, 42, 35, 42, 47. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 47, then 50, right? Then 72, 80, and 87. So you take the average of the middle two numbers, add them up, divide by 2, so it should be 48.5. And the 5-number summary of this is all graphing calculator stuff. The range would be 51 to 4. 51 minus 4 is 47. Interquartile range, I have no idea. Outliers, I have no idea. Because the outliers, you take the interquartile range times 1.5. So what do you get for the 5-number summary? I guess everybody has different numbers. You guys know how to do this, right? Okay, so we won't bother with that. So I want to see if there's any outliers on mine. No outliers. So you guys should not have outliers on the semester test. Okay, so I will get rid of question number 42. Bad question. And so 25 is also gone. 25 and 42 are both gone. And that is that.
Yes, I'm already asking you a question.
Yep. Okay.